Hello, how are you? Good to be here with you today. I want to give everybody a second to kind of catch up and log on. I know one great thing about Facebook is when you use Be Live, they will then give you a like a warning that hey, she's here. This is going on, but I need to give you a second to kind of catch up with that. So yeah, I promised in the promo for this that we're going to talk about something that a lot of people don't like to talk about. And I think they don't like to talk about it because, well, it's about being vulnerable, right? And, Brene Brown talks about vulnerability and that we can't fully experience all of life. And by that, I mean the joys and the excitement when we don't experience all of the emotions. And for us to talk about this subject, we have to be vulnerable. And so what the heck is this subject? My name is Daphne Smith. Welcome. And today we're going to talk about what has 111 million Google searches. And I'm here to say that if you've not personally gone through this, you know somebody who has, is, or is about to. And that is burnout. Burnout. Ugh. It's nothing fun. It's nothing sexy. Great to have you here with me, Shelly. Thanks for joining in. Burnout actually sometimes can be perceived as a weakness. And that, I think, is part of why nobody likes to talk about it. So let me give you the exact definition of what burnout is, because a couple of weeks ago, I did a video on how our words matter and how it's important that we are accurate with our words. Say what you mean what you say. And that's why I want to be very specific in what burnout means. So here is, I'm just going to read it straight from the web. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. So how many times have the words burnout and stress been used? People just swap them out. They exchange one for the other. That goes to that accuracy of words. They're not the same thing. Burnout and stress are two different situations. Burnout occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant demands. Do you see now why? I was like, we're going to talk about something that people don't really like talking about, but most people can understand or relate. And the word I was looking for was exchange or interchange stress and burnout for each other. That's the word I was trying to figure out a few minutes ago. So if you can relate to this, if you understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about burnout, or maybe you know somebody who has, just go ahead and type in the comments for me, relate, or maybe you appreciate the fact that I'm addressing the elephant in the room. In fact, it's part of why I'm showing up today with my glasses on and I'm not all dolled up, because I was just kind of over it. I was burned out from always being glam. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be authentic. I'm going to be real. I'm going to show up and I'm going to make myself vulnerable with you. So let me give you 3 different areas where you could experience the signs of burnout. One of them is physically. If you are burned out physically, you could be experiencing lack of sleep and or frequent illness. Those are just 2 of the identifiable signs. How about burnout emotionally? What does it look like if you're feeling burnout? How does it show up emotionally? It's a loss of motivation and or cynicism. If you're usually a positive person and you find yourself being cynical, maybe you're burned out. If you are having a hard time getting motivated, doing just sometimes maybe even the simple things in life, could it be that you're burned out? How about behavioral signs of burnout? Those can show up as procrastination. I'm not talking about somebody who always procrastinates. There are just some people who always procrastinate. I'm talking about you didn't typically procrastinate, but now that you're experiencing burnout, that's how it's manifesting in your life, is through procrastination. And even isolation. That person who you hear from all the time, and now they've kind of withdrawn, or as the saying goes, they've ghosted you. Maybe they're isolating because they're burning out. So burnout can show up in your life physically, emotionally, and or behaviorally. Causes of burnout can come from work. Can I get an amen? Lifestyle, burning the candle at both ends, or get this, personality. Yo, hi, my name is Daphne and I'm a type A, right? So some of us are just more predisposed to burnout, okay? So what is the bottom line? It's like, great, Daphne, you've explained what burnout is. Here's what I want you to clearly understand. Stress is overwhelming. When we feel overwhelmed, we are stressed. Think about a pair of jeans that are a size too small, okay? You're stretching at the seams. You're overwhelmed. Burnout is when you're dried up. You got nothing left to give. There's nothing more for you to offer right now. That's the difference between stress and burnout. Does that make sense? If it does, type that in the comments for me. Makes sense. Because in my head and in my notes it does. Communicating it could be a different thing. So what do you do to prevent burnout or perhaps pull out of it? Okay. Two things. Honor and understand. Honor your own unique needs. Now, I'm somebody, for those of you who truly know me, I go about 95 miles an hour about 95% of the time. That's just me. Thank you, Tammy. Glad it makes sense. I know that. That's not the way everybody is wired. And thank you, Shelley. So honor your own unique needs. I tend to hang with a group of really high achievers. And part of my nature is to kind of compare myself with them and their results. But when I do that, I'm not honoring my unique needs. I'm not honoring the way I am wired and my own unique goals. So a way to avoid burnout is to honor yourself. Now, I'm not saying don't set goals. I'm not saying don't hang around people who won't stretch you. But there's a difference between stretching you and stressing you, okay? So number one, honor. And number two is understand. Understand your values. Understand your priorities. See, what happens in life is most people present their best foot forward, right? They go on social media and, you've heard this. People call it fake book or facade book, right? Or whatever social media platform you want to talk about, because they're only putting the good stuff out there. Well, is this that time in their life? Did they go through the hard stuff behind the scenes and you didn't see that? And that's why you're seeing up front, quote unquote, only the good stuff? Their values and their priorities could be different than yours. So when I had kids at home, my values and my priorities, my values have not changed. My priorities have changed because I'm an empty nester. So I'm able to do things differently now than I did when my kids were younger. Health and wellness, those are priorities for me. And I do them in a certain way, on a certain schedule, at a certain time of day that's going to be different from somebody else. If I try to compare my workout schedule to one of my best friend's workout schedules, that's crazy. I'm not her. She's not me. We don't have the same needs. Still a priority. But my approach is going to be different. And when I honor myself and my uniqueness, and when I understand my values and priorities, I'm able to avoid burnout. And you can as well. So I hope that this was helpful for you. And if it was, I'd love for you to type helpful in the comments. And if it was, I want to offer something to you absolutely free. I have just released the WAVE Quotient Assessment, also known as the WQ. And what this will do is it will help provide some clarity for you. Maybe you're experiencing burnout and you don't really know why. You can take this free assessment and get some clarity. That will help right there with burnout. Thank you, Lisa. Being honest, burnout is real. And when we can be authentic with each other, then we can actually generally help one another. So if you would like to take the free, absolutely free WAVE Quotient Assessment, just go to daphnebsmith.com/WAVE. In fact, I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to type it in. There we go. And I'll also put it in the comments because I think that might disappear from the screen. But when I put it in the comments section, you'll be able to click on it and go straight to the assessment. And in less than 10 minutes, you will have some insight and some information that I believe will help you in your journey to ending burnout. So thank you, not only for joining me today, but for those who were live, putting your comments in. It's great to know that I'm doing this with someone else, okay? I do it for myself to add value to you. It's always great when you're throwing a party to have other people join you. So thank you for joining me. Remember, you can minimize or even avoid burnout and be proactive in honoring and understanding yourself as you live a well-done life daily. Bye for now.